You are listening to the Slowly Dying Podcast with Becca.
Check yourself. Check. Week after I cried at the bowling alley.
And Bronte.
Oh my God, what have I done?
What do you mean? I haven't heard from you in months. We talk about everything and anything.
I could tell she was frustrated just by how she was throwing I'm the only one who does it the best.
And turn in every Monday for a brand new episode.
I did not know, though.
What? Like, you were freaking out.
Let's get it popping.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's Bronte here, and it's just me on the mic right now. I'm going to do a solo 101. I'm going to do a solo one-on-one with you guys for this episode. And I feel like the reason why I'm doing this is because I don't know if you guys have noticed the absence of episodes in probably about the last month or so. We just kind of went AWOL, and I kind of want to give a little bit of reason why that occurred, and just kind of be open and honest with you guys. So a couple weeks ago, well, for the last couple weeks, probably near the end of September, probably when the most recent episode came out, I just kind of hit, I don't want to say an all-time low, but I think I hit an exhaustion point, emotionally, mentally, and physically, that completely shut me down. And I kind of just went dormant a little bit. It's almost like I kind of buried myself away and absorbed myself in work. It was just work, go to sleep, work, go to sleep. And there's multiple different reasons why. I'm not going to get into specifics, but I'll get into broad specifics. It was just a compounding factor of a lot of different things, just being burnt out at work, just kind of low on the game, or not really doing well in my workout regime that I love, and eating right. And honestly, it came down to fights with friends, and I wouldn't even call it fights. It's just how friends act that got really exhausting. And it just seemed to be almost all of my friends acting a certain way, and it got really annoying to the point where it was disrespectful to me, and I couldn't believe the things that were said. I couldn't believe the things that that was done. And it kind of made me reevaluate a lot of stuff, because I'm a person that words need action. And when action don't really meet those words, it's a bit hurtful. So it just made me rethink how I think of people, and it made me disappointed in people. So I just kind of went away to rethink and reevaluate myself, because when hurtful things are said, you can't help believe them at some times, if that makes sense. Even though I didn't believe what was said, it was just it kind of caught me off guard. And then, you have those moments where you're like, am I like this person? Am I all the bad things that this person said I am? And I know I'm not. It just kind of hits you when you're already at kind of like an all-time low. But it's just funny. I don't know how I handle things sometimes. A lot of people don't get it, and then some people do get it. The thing that I lack sometimes is when things like this happen, I don't really communicate very well, because in my past, I've been told I'm too emotional. I shouldn't express my feelings. I should just not bother people with them. So I kind of am an introvert when it comes to that. I don't really get very emotional about certain things sometimes when it comes to me personally. When you get to know me very well, then I become very personable and open, because I just don't trust people. I've had it in the past where I'm open and honest with people that I've dated or I used to be friends with, and they kind of turn my honesty into, or things that I've said, for things against me and for ill will. And it's just disgusting how people can act sometimes. But I think it was just overall a combination of just everything hit me all at once, and it was just exhausting. And it was probably for a good 2, almost 3 weeks where I was barely answering text messages. I didn't care about the podcast. I didn't care about really everything. I didn't care about anything. I just kind of was locked away almost. And being committed to a hobby like this podcast, it does take commitment and it does take communication. And it wasn't fair on my partner's part and to listeners that I just kind of gave up on everything. Even though, Becca has been wonderful and, she reached out, she kind of gave me my time to just rest, I think, and mentally rest. But she was very open and honest with me, which I always appreciate. And it wasn't fair on her when I didn't tell her exactly what was going on, but she understands why the way that I am. But when it comes to something like this that we've committed to, it's not fair. And I do apologize about that. And I hope people understand how people maybe who do stuff like this, like me, just kind of mentally goes to way to mentally heal. I think it's my form of healing that I just need to mentally compartmentalize everything, and then it's almost like I come back stronger. And I don't know if anyone else does this, but I am the queen at doing this. So sometimes I need people to come to me and say, like, hey, is everything okay? And I would be very surprised if, some people listen to this and are shocked. I wouldn't be surprised if people didn't reach out and listen to this, or were surprised that any of this was going on, because I feel like I'm really good at hiding at times, but it does mean a lot when people reach out. It really does, because I feel like it is really important for people to take their time and they handle things in their certain ways, but it isn't fair to people who are genuinely trying to reach out and communicate with you. And I think that's where good friends come, where I can say to a good friend, if they do reach out, like, hey, is everything okay? And if I'm just like, I cannot explain everything right now. I just need you to understand that I will be okay and I'll be back. I just need a moment to reflect. And if they're like, okay, just wanted to see how you are, that's amazing. And that's exactly what Becca did. And as my co-host, it is only fair to her to keep her in the loop about what's going on if it does affect the podcast, especially. So that was just my take on everything that went on. And I just wanted to let you guys know that we're back and ready for more episodes. I miss it. Having a hobby like this podcast is kind of funny, because I do openly express myself on the podcast, but as a person, I am kind of an introvert in that way. I just don't like to harbor my problems on other people, when really people are only there to help me and support me, which I need to embrace more. So that's why I love this podcast. We're able to openly express about problems and kind of hear our different viewpoints. Even though, her and I are very close friends, sometimes we don't agree, or sometimes we look at things at different angles, and that's very expressive. This is a very expressive hobby. So I do miss it. I do miss the mic. I do creating an environment where her and I can express ourselves, and we can be right, we can be wrong, we can have different viewpoints, but I think it's an open platform for expression. And I think it's something beautiful, and I want it back into my life. I miss it. I miss hearing from people like, hey, I love that episode. So I think you need to go away sometimes to realize what you want and what you need in your life. So these mental breaks that I do, it only makes me come back stronger. So I am ready for it again. I'm ready to put stuff out there and, I don't know, keep the entertainment game rolling. So I feel much better, and I'm ready to kind of take life by the horns a little bit more. So we're back with more, and we are excited to drop new content. The schedule might be different, just with our busy schedules and everything, but Becca and I will update you guys on our next episode about what we've talked about. So, but yeah, if you've listened to the end of this, thank you for listening. It means a lot. People reaching out and everything. So I think just knowing that you're going to be okay, you're allowed to have these moments, but just respect the people around you and respect who you have in your life and who you can reach out to. But it's okay to take a break. And I think that's what I needed. But without further ado, I'll end it here. But as always, thank you so much for the support. And I hope you continue enjoying our show. So I'll see you next week. Bye, guys.